Good evening, and welcome to Stranger Truths. That was a pretty crappy intro, wasn't it? My name's Jeff.
Bad.
This is Jorge on the other line. Say hi, Jorge.
What's up? And my bulldog farts gold.
Your bulldog farts gold.
Yes, he does.
Is that kind of like your Stay Classy San Diego deal? Is that what?
Goddamn right it is.
So how's the Kung flu treating you?
I'm isolated in my house. Dude, I'm going nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I hate staying home right now.
What's are you guys on like total lockdown or?
Not total lockdown, dude, but we're getting there, man. Like it's everything all the fun shit is locked down right now, and this is not fun at all. But I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to stay cool. Trying to keep cool.
I don't know if you got any news back from home, but they are shutting stuff down left and right here.
Oh, dude, everything is already shut down here, dude. Like, I mean, except for the grocery stores, which is fucking cool because I can't. I had to go get fucking eggs earlier today.
I know. I got some friends of mine that are in Italy. I know they got to have a piece of paper saying that they're allowed to go out and get groceries and all that. Is that what they're doing in Germany or?
No shit, no, not yet. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not there yet, but god damn, dude, if we get there, that's gonna be bad.
I know, like New York, they total shutdown. The governor told everybody to stay home, like everyone, no one working, stay home. Here in Florida, they got they shut the beaches down last night. They shut down all the bars and restaurants. You can get carry out from certain restaurants if they're open. Of course, the grocery stores are open, but they're at weird hours now. And like Walmart, where I work at, we're only open from like I think it's 8 to 8:30 now, and then they do like a senior hour. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. We're just whatever, man. We're just trying to live life out here, dude.
Yeah. One of these days, we'll all find out what actually happened, you know?
Yeah. We already know what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we already know what happened.
Yeah, well, I want to go into a little bit of that, and I want you to check my crazy on this. We're gonna go almost Alex Jones style here in a second, going all the way back to 2002. Around that time frame.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
We're going way back.
Going way back, getting the way back machine. So there's this dude, his name's General Shin. Not Man Kong Chi. Not Man Kong Chi. That's my boy right there.
No, that's your boy?
Yeah, Man Kong Chi. You remember old Man Kong?
Yeah, I remember. He was a president of Clackring.
Oh yeah. Well, General Shin gave a speech to some high-level CCP personnel outlining a long-range plan for China's world dominance. So in the speech, he noted there are 3 issues that China must overcome. One is living space. China's overpopulated, right? Yeah. And their overpopulation's just killing their environment. I mean, ever since their shutdown over there, you've seen the satellite images of the carbon monoxide over China, how it's just completely gone. Well, because they got so many people there, the overpopulation is just killing their environment. The second is that China needs to teach her people to go out and conquest new lands in which a second China can be built. Now, have you heard of the One Belt, One Road initiative?
No.
It's like China's new Silk Road. So what they're doing is they're building up all over the place, buying up land in different parts of the world and building up ports in cities so they have
yeah, dude, they're all over
infrastructure
right
everywhere.
Now,
yeah, Africa, all up and down Africa, they're building. And guess what the third issue that they got to overcome is? The third issue is America.
Okay.
Goddamn America.
Yeah, that America.
I mean, so you got to think about it. if China needs to go out and get more living space for their people, right? How are they going to do that?
They need more living space for their people.
Yeah, they're going to have to invade other countries, right?
They don't have enough goddamn space in their goddamn country. I mean,
how many billions of people are in China?
I have no idea, dude, but they fucking have 1 billion fucking acres of people or acres of fucking land to fucking populate their people for.
Like 1.5 billion?
No, scroll up.
That's right there, dude. 1.5 billion.
Where? Oh, yeah. All right. As of Saturday.
Yeah, it's like they got a tracking chip in every person that gets popped out.
Yeah, as of Saturday.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got 1 billion.
I love that shit.
They got 1 billion people, man, and a lot of that stuff's mountains in there. So, I mean,
no,
it's not like...
I get it, but, like...
60% of the population's urban, which, I mean, yeah, they got country that they can they can grow out to, but why? Why when they can just take over other people's stuff? And if they try to do that, then, I mean, who's going to stop them? America.
America, folk.
America. Why? Because we're the world's police.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to stop them. General Chi knows that. He stated that we're not as foolish as to want to perish together with America by using nuclear weapons. Only by using non-destructive weapons that can kill many people will we be able to resolve America for ourselves. So what's he talking about? Non-destructive weapons? What's that? Biological weapons. Coronavirus. General Chi cites that China's overpopulation problem and environmental degradation will eventually result in social collapse and civil war. He estimates that more than 800 million Chinese would die in such a collapse. So either the United States is either cleaned up by biological attacks or China dies from the inside. So at 800 million, if we just talked about their populations of 1.5 billion, that's damn near, it's at least half of their population gone. So not too long after this speech, that guy retired. And in 2003, China built the Wuhan Level 4 lab. Now, coincidentally enough, that's the same year SARS broke out.
In Japan.
Yeah, well, it started in China.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, SARS started in China, and SARS is a coronavirus. Taiwan intelligence linked the SARS virus to research done in Chinese labs. But the Chinese Security Bureau director had to retract his statement because he couldn't reveal his sources. Because that dude would have got killed pretty quick. So let's go ahead and fast forward to May of 2012. So May of 2012, there was a guy in Saudi Arabia that was diagnosed with a corona-like virus.
In Saudi,
right? Now a sample of that coronavirus was copied. They like made a genetic copy of that coronavirus for study and was sent off to Denmark. And in Denmark, there was a guy there that contacted a guy from Canada's NML Winnipeg facility and said, "Hey, you want a shot at this to study it?" And the dude's like, "Yeah, sure, bro, send it to me." And they're like, "All right, dude." And he's like, "Okay, dude, thanks, dude." And he's like, "All right, cool, dude." Right? So this virus ended up in Winnipeg, in Canada.
This is documented.
Yeah, this is all documented. And I'll put links to all this stuff in the show notes.
Okay.
Now, this is the same coronavirus that's going through now, but we'll get to that. So,
okay.
So around March of 2019, a shipment of exceptionally virulent viruses from Winnipeg lab ended up in China. Like, hey, where'd this come from?
Nice. Right? Yeah. Let's ship this shit.
A shipment. Not like it went like UPS kind of shipment. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
After an investigation followed, the incident was traced to a Chinese agent working in the lab in Winnipeg. Four Chinese agents were forcibly removed from the labs. One of the agents had made at least 5 trips between 2017 and 2018 to the Wuhan National Biosafety Laboratory from the Winnipeg laboratory. I would say the person's name, but I'm gonna butcher the hell out of it. It's
yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. Zingo Queen.
I don't know. Asshole you. Yeah,
right?
how's about that? Yeah.
Yeah, so she sent this stuff over, this exact strain that's going through China right now and the world right now. The exact strain of it started out in Saudi Arabia, went from Saudi Arabia to Winnipeg to be studied, and then this lady and her husband stole it and took it to Wuhan, and it ended up in Wuhan and somehow got out.
Jesus.
Now, the question is, how did it get out? Was this a accidental release, right? Did this just happen to get out due to horrible safety precautions, which I'm pretty sure that they don't have that great of safety precautions in China? Or was this actually released upon the public? Was this maybe a test run to see how it would spread? Because it's lethal, yes, but it's not as lethal as it could be. Because this isn't like a weapons grade where it would kill millions of people. But then again, we don't know what the real numbers are coming out of China. You know?
Damn.
Italy's having some issues. I know they're having a lot of issues, and Iran's having a lot of issues.
Yeah, because their generation is old as balls.
Well, not only that, but they have a huge tie to China. I mean, if you look at it, the people that have the biggest ties to China are the ones that are having the issues right now. Iran and Italy.
I know, but the coronavirus is killing people in Italy because they're I think they're like the first or the second oldest. Like their generation is like old.
How did it get out? That's the question. We can kind of track it down to that, right? Because it is the same strain. It's been proven that was the strain that started in China, is the one that they found in Saudi Arabia. Now here's
and Italy.
Yeah, and Italy. Now they're talking about there's 2 different. It's branched off into 2 different strains now: the L strain and the S strain. And the L strain is the lethal strain. That's the easiest way to remember it. And then the S strain is the more virulent one, the one that spreads the most, but isn't as lethal. And there's talk that it's what's really hitting Italy bad is the L strain. Same with China and same with Iran. And somehow we're only getting hit with the S strain. I don't really understand how all that works. I'm not a virologist or anything.
Neither do I, because I've never heard of that shit. There's only one strain, and it's fucking killing the older people.
Yeah, older and the weak, the frail. I mean, is that?
Yeah, I'm not understanding what you're saying about the S and the L.
Well, both of them attack the weak and the old. But the S strain is more it spreads faster. Like it spreads by like sneezing, coughing, all that stuff. It's airborne. But the L strain is more on unsanitary practices, like not washing your hands and shit.
All right. So there's 2 strains going around that we have to watch ourselves for.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
So could this be something that, I don't know, maybe China released to get rid of all their old people? Do a population control, maybe? Do a little population control / test run of their bioweapons?
I think this was a huge accident.
I mean, it could be. But let me take you to an alternate reality.
All right.
Let me take you to what China's saying. You ready for this shit?
Yeah, fuck that. That's what we're here for.
There's theories that this the COVID-19 has an American origin. So yeah,
All right.
yeah, bear with me on this one.
Yeah.
We're going down a crazy rabbit hole with not a lot of connections, but hey, whatever. Let's Charlie Batch this up.
All right.
In August of 2019, Fort Detrick in Maryland was shut down. Now, Fort Detrick, well, not the whole fort, but their Institute for Infectious Diseases was shut down. And that's where we keep a lot of our biological warfare stuff. Also, around that same time frame, in August of 2019, had a bunch of people in America dying of respiratory illnesses that we were attributing to vaping. I know over in the Germany, you guys probably didn't hear much about this, but it's a huge
No,
deal.
we heard about it. Yeah.
There's like all kinds of legislation coming down, and vape juice has to be approved by the FDA by a certain day, by a certain year, or they can't sell it, and it's killing a lot of small businesses off that are doing all this stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I personally think it's a big tobacco operation that's trying to kill everybody off with that. But anyways, for another time. So this Taiwanese physician told the United States that, hey, they think that all these vaping deaths are actually attributed to a coronavirus. But of course, nobody wanted to listen to that. Now, following this thread, we have the United States military team at the World Military Games in October 2019 in Wuhan. 5 of those people were hospitalized for an unknown infection. Didn't know what it was. It had the same kind of respiratory problems, all that stuff. Unknown infection. And then if you think about it, a lot of anecdotal stuff about it is like between December and February around the United States, I know. Like even my girlfriend that had a flu test. Or not a flu test, but had like a flu-like thing going on. And then she went and got a flu test done. They're like, "Oh no, it's not the flu. It's just a virus. It'll go away." But it was definitely a shit flu, or definitely a shit virus, like 102, 103 fever, dry coughs, like as bad as all this stuff that they're reporting with the coronavirus. So my question is, could it already have been here in the United States, and then somehow?
Oh yeah.
And somehow,
yeah, dude, it could. It was already here.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, or at least that's what the Chinese are saying. That it was already here and we brought it to them.
No.
I'm just going.
We didn't bring it to them. The shit happened with them.
I mean, stranger things could happen.
Nah, this wasn't us. Like this was their happening.
So what if so let's just say that maybe, let's double advocate this, all right? Let's say we started it.
How?
All right, let me run down this road real quick.
All right, yeah, I'm listening.
All right, let's say we wanted to conduct a biological warfare on China, right?
All right.
First thing we'd want to do is make sure that our population doesn't die.
Okay.
So the best thing, instead of, hey, everybody, come get your shots for God knows what it is, let's just release the weaker version of the virus, which is pretty much like an inoculation, like getting your flu shot, only it's the weaker version of it. Run it through the population. Everybody gets sick. Bam. Now everybody's immune to it. And then we release the more lethal version of it in China. Start killing off China. Hey, guess what? We win our trade war now. We bring all our companies back from China back to the United States because, hey, we can't trust China's sick over there. They're always getting sick off of something. If it ain't SARS, it's H1N1 or it's bird flu or it's swine flu or it's something.
So what's the first inoculation that they gave Americans then?
They just released it.
No, no. I'm asking you. Your theory is they gave us an inoculation,
No, no.
and then
They didn't inoculate. It's a version of inoculation. If you release something out into the public that's really virulent, that's going to spread, then it's going to spread throughout the public quickly. Now, if it's a low lethality, then yeah, people just get sick and be okay. I got sick, whatever. They can go and get their flu test, thinking it's the flu. It comes back negative. Like okay, whatever. You see where I'm going with
so
this?
no, I don't. That's what I'm asking you. So that first shot that people got, what is that?
No one got a shot, bro.
All right. So what is so? That's where I'm confused. You're like you said somebody got an inoculation.
No, it's like getting inoculated. All
So
right.
then what do they do? So they don't they get a fucking pill or what is
No.
it?
All right. Let me start from the beginning.
All right.
When you want your population to be, all right. Let me hold on. Let me rephrase all this. Let me think it. Let me Mexican it up here for you. All right.
I don't need you to Mexican it up. Just make it okay. Sure, Mexican it up.
All right. You want to conduct biological warfare with China.
Sure.
You get your people sick with a less lethal version of what you're going to launch onto China.
Okay.
You just release it into the population, it'll spread.
Okay.
I mean, it could have came from anywhere. I would imagine probably Fort Detrick would be a good place it could come from. I mean, we got a bunch of stuff stored there, right? Hell, it could come from Atlanta. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff stored there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just it gets released into the population. Everybody gets sick. They think it's the flu. It's not the flu, but you'll be all right, and everybody's all right. Then we send the lethal version over to China. Chinese people get sick, they start dying, shutting everything down. Now we have to start shutting everything down because it's coming over here now. See what I'm saying?
You seriously think that we released this shit?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that the U.S. has made their civilians guinea pigs for tests on stuff.
Yeah, but not on this scale.
Go big or go home, right?
Not like this. Not like this. This is yeah, no. No, dude, I can't.
All right. Well, let's take a look at a case study then. I'm not saying this is going to prove my point, but this it ties in. How about that? Or at least I'm trying to make it tie in. Tuskegee Experiment. You ever heard of it?
Well, I heard about it after I read about the stuff you sent me. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So there's a made for TV movie that came out around 1997 called Mr. Evers' Boys. It's got Lawrence Fishburne in it, and it's about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It
was a clinical study from 1932 to 1972. So how many years is that? 40 years, right?
Yep.
40-year study. And this was done by the U.S. Public Health Service in collaboration with the Tuskegee University. They enrolled 600 black sharecroppers from Macon County, Alabama, into this program. 399 of them had syphilis. 201 of them didn't. They were just the control group, right? And the way they enrolled these guys is, I mean, this was during the Depression. It was easy. Hey, we'll give you free meals, free health care. You know, you think you got we think you got the bad blood, which was just a colloquial name back then for pretty much anything, any kind of sickness. You didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And we'll treat your bad blood, right? They even gave them free burial insurance. But to get that burial insurance, they had to do spinal taps.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you got syphilis, to be able to find out what the degradation of your your nervous system is, they got to do a spinal tap, right?
Yeah.
So none of the men that had syphilis were told that they had syphilis. They were just told they had bad blood. They weren't told that what they had. They were just like, hey, yeah, you're sick. We'll take care of you. No problem, right? Around 1947 is when we figured out that penicillin kills syphilis. And the government sponsored a bunch of different health service programs to try to get rid of syphilis. Because, I mean, it drives you crazy. You'll end up going nuts.
Yeah, that's what killed Al Capone.
Yeah, and you'll die. I mean, you're gonna die if you have syphilis, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like all over the country, they were doing these health programs. Well, the participants of the Tuskegee Experiment were prevented from participation in those programs, and even if they tried to go, like, hey, I heard about this penicillin thing. You know, if they found out somehow about penicillin, the doctors of this experiment be like, okay, yeah, no problem. Here you go. Here's penicillin, and they just give them a placebo. Like, here's a sugar pill, right?
Yeah.
So the study ended in 1972 only because someone leaked it to the press.
Oh, shit.
When it was leaked to the New York Times reported on it, and then a bunch of shit came down, and they ended the program. By that time, only 74 of the men were alive. Out of the
how many started?
399 that had syphilis.
Jesus.
So 28 of them died of syphilis. 100 were dead from complicated or related complications, right? And then, of course, a lot of them also during World War II, a lot of them tried to enlist in the military to go help fight during World War II, and they were told when they went to basic or when they went to get their screening done, like, hey, you got syphilis, and I can't really do anything with you, you know.
Damn.
And then they were sent back to the program.
Jesus.
Also, 40 of their wives were infected, and 19 of their children were born with congenital syphilis.
Jeez.
So, you know how long it took for them the U.S. government to apologize to these people?
Like a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, 1997, when Bill Clinton apologized on behalf of the U.S. government.
Damn.
So, you say that the government wouldn't do anything like that, but this proves that they will do some stuff like that. You know why the AIDS spread was so bad during the black population during the 80s, 70s, and 80s?
Nope.
Because this was fresh in their mind.
Damn.
Because they didn't trust the government with any kind of healthcare help. So, or I could just be, I could just be crazy. So yeah, that's my theory on this whole thing. What's your idea?
Which one, dude? You brought up a lot of goddamn fucking theories.
Do you take the government stance on, hey, this all started in a Wuhan wet market where people are eating bats and stuff like that?
No. One of my boys sent me a thing months ago about a fucking Harvard fucking professor, a scientist, was arrested and was helping the fucking Chinese government like leak viruses and shit.
Yeah.
A dude at a Chinese student, which ended up being a lieutenant in the Chinese army, was arrested at Logan with a vial of an active virus, which ended up being COVID-19. This was like back in fucking December, though.
Yeah, I think this stuff already had gone out though by December, because December was like around the time frame that China started locking everything down.
He sent me this shit a while ago, and I was like, what the fuck? And I had no idea. And I was like, I dismissed it. I was like, all right, cool. And then, like, in March or like late February, I was like, oh, shit.
There we go. Harvard professor arrested China. How about that?
Yeah. Harvard professor arrested. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, where he was linked to the Chinese lab.
Yeah, and Dr. Charles Lieber is
Yep,
a
that's that fuck. Yep, that's his ass. Yep,
chair of Harvard's Chemistry and Chemical Biology department.
yep. That's the one.
Yeah, he's accused of lying about working with several Chinese organizations.
Yep.
Apparently, he received over $15 million in funding from National Institute of Health and the Department of Defense, which requires him disclosing foreign financial conflicts of interest. He alleges that Lieber lied about his affiliation with the Wuhan University of Technology. Hey, imagine that.
Yep, that's him. That's the guy.
Being paid $50,000 per month by the Chinese university.
Yep.
University and given $1.5 million to establish a nanoscience research lab.
That's exactly it. My boy Jeff sent me that shit months ago, and I was like, I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know what to say about it. I was like, and then later on, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Yang Qing Yi was falsely identified herself as a student on her visa application. Turns out she was a lieutenant in the People's Liberation Army. Accused of accessing military websites and sending documents, U.S. documents to China. Last week, a cancer researcher. Last week, God, how old is this?
It's probably like over a year old now.
Zhou Song Zheng was indicted for trying to smuggle 21 vials of biological material out of the U.S. to China.
Oh yeah, that was like late last year.
Yeah, Zhou Song was sponsored by Harvard University.
Yep, that's the same shit. Yep.
The article's
probably a few
28th,
months old now. Yeah, it's a few months old now.
The guy was arrested in December,
and nobody's talking about that shit.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the same with the Winnipeg stuff, like them sending stuff back and forth between there and China to Wuhan. Damn. So, I mean, I truly think that this is something that they were trying to cook up, and it just got loose on them. Now, if you want to go down a real rabbit hole, oh man, yeah. I've been seeing some crazy stuff out there with regards to, let's see, anywhere between a global reset of the economy to get us back on the gold standard.
I've heard about that too.
Or modern monetary theory, which I don't even want to get into. Easy explanation is you print your own money, and you print as much as you want, and it doesn't matter because you're making it. That's how inflation works. But okay, cool.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one, and this is the batshit crazy one, that I don't know if you've read any of this QAnon stuff or if you even heard of it.
Oh, are you talking about the Tom Hanks getting fucking arrested and fucking
right? Okay, so
yeah. I read that shit and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
This whole thing is a cover up. There's no real virus. That it's all about taking the elites down for all their pedophilia sex rings.
I read it and I was like, where? And I asked the person that sent it to me. I was like, where did you get this from? Like where? Like, nah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that source is way more batshit crazy than my source for the U.S. starting the whole Corona thing. So, and that's all coming from Chinese websites. So, I mean,
well, the U.S. didn't start this coronavirus shit. So
I know, but I just wanted to go down a road, you know.
Yeah, I read that shit too, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and it had all kinds of shit about the Clintons going down, and it went into some weird ass shit. I read it and I was like, where is this? What's the source of this? Because a couple people sent it to me, and I responded and I was like, yo, where is the source of this? Like, where'd you guys get this from?
The source is Reddit and 4chan. That's the source.
That's fine, and nobody could, or Reddit and 4chan.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where.
I can understand 4chan, but who on 4chan wrote that shit? And don't give me QAnon
Yeah,
because
it's
that's not a
QAnon, man. He's
person. It's not a
QAnon's the
person.
president, man. Didn't you know? He's the
It's
president.
not it's not a person. That's a group. QAnon is a group.
Yeah.
Like he puts it they put their shit out. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's that's the great thing about the internet nowadays is
I
there's so
didn't
much crazy.
I didn't even know 4chan was still open. I thought it was closed.
I don't know. I haven't I've never been on it, nor do I ever want to go on it. It just doesn't.
I was on it. I was on it a long ass time ago, like in 2004, and it was that's the only reason I know about Anonymous or Q Anonymous.
No, no, it's still open. It's still up and running.
I didn't know 4chan was still open, dude. I thought
Yeah.
it was shut down.
Oh, it's definitely. I just went on it. It's definitely still there.
Wow. All right, bro.
All right. Well,
We'll do this again.
definitely.
All right, bro.
Yep.
Later.
So that was the first episode of Stranger Truths. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll put a link to all the articles we talked about in the show notes. And thanks for listening. Until next time. And to play you out, here's a little music by Thor called The Gates of Odin.